Greetings, this is Scholar Saunders Singh. What's current? All right, so Trump is talking about making Gaza of the Riviera of the Middle Eastern world, when in reality, there should still be a war going on in favor of Israel. That's the thing. They have not crushed their enemy. They have not humiliated, made sure, ensured, completely decimated their enemy, made them grovel, made them cry, made them say, we will never ever do this against you ever again. Because on October 7th, 2023, that was the case. There was no ceasefire on October 8th saying, okay, they attacked Israel. We can't go back on them now. No, we have to go guns a-blazing still. Just like in World War II, Japan was the aggressor. They attacked Pearl Harbor. They attacked Pearl Harbor, and we had a ground fight and a fight in the seas in the Pacific for, what was it, 3 or 4 years at least. Then they had they dropped the bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, but before then they had the Doolittle raid, which bombed parts of Tokyo. And there are many other different bombing campaigns that went on in Japan. Do they harbor the same kind of animus, that they could have, not that they should have, but they could have for Americans? Do they say, well, you bombed us and killed aunties and uncles and cousins and brothers and sisters and civilian lives in Hiroshima and Nagasaki and Tokyo? Okay, tens of thousands of lives lost. Civilian, not military targets, civilians. Okay, they were targeted. Do they have the same kind of hatred and vitriol and want to revenge against the first part of the revenge? No, they knew that they were dealing with something that was a serious power, that something was very to the point and not very weak and ham-fisted and kind of moaning and somewhat, let's have a peace and a ceasefire. No, that's what needs to happen in Gaza. Palestinians need to recognize this. You could get killed, and the blood will not be on America or Israel's hands. It will be on Hamas and Hezbollah and other Palestinian constituents' hands, Iran's hands. That's who it would be on. So to not say that, there should be a continued fight, a battle, would be wrong. I mean, Trump he's completely almost delusional. I think he's calling it a Riviera. That he said I'm not trying to be cute or I'll paraphrase and say cavalier. He said cute or like a wise guy. I'm not trying to be like a wise guy, but I want to make Gaza into the Riviera of the Middle East. That's just ridiculous. They should be fighting right now, and Israel should be winning. Maybe there shouldn't be a fight. It should just be Israel winning. Israel should have the upper hand. They were attacked. Let's have that in, bold, italics, and underlined. Israel was attacked, had its worst attack ever in its history, and then they want to have a ceasefire? Are you kidding me? How many times was Hamas ordered to say, you know what, there should be a ceasefire? There should be a ceasefire after this. We should have no hostages or I guess they're prisoners of war. I don't know. I have to look up the definition of a prisoner of war and a hostage. But we should have no hostages. Should have nobody talking about this. That's what I'm talking about. Like, that's how disgusting this all is. How nobody understands the roots of war, which is the roots of war is the selflessness. It's giving the self for the state. That's the roots of war. Collectivism in a sense, and in a sense of nationalism, or sacrificing the self for the nation. That's the roots of war. So we have that in our grasp right now. We have that, to discuss, to discover what we have. And that is the reality that we are showing ourselves. That's the reality that is so potent and so real and so true. And Trump is just exacerbating this whole issue. He's making it worse. Instead of saying, you know what, Netanyahu, you need to get your troops together. You need to get more forces together. You need to, pound all the different sites of the military and civilian sites. Let them know you're serious. Let them know you're not willing to back down off of a fight. You're willing to continue to go on until they say they wave the white flag. Until they're completely surrendered and they're completely under the thumb. That's how serious all this is. That's how serious this has to be. That's the sad part about everything that has to do with this. That's the sad part about our role in September 11, 2001. There was no resolution. Our show or 2 minutes. What are you talking about? This is 15 minutes, about 15 minutes. Well, salute to you. Thank you for coming in. Power to you. Tell friends. Don't you got friends, Wizard? Tell me you got some friends. You can say, hey, look, this nigga's silly. He's a silly nigga, but you got to watch him. He's got ideas and perspectives. Just tell like 10 people. If you know 10 people, how's it just you? Whenever it's just you in the room, I don't believe you. I don't believe you have friends. I don't believe it. I have no friends. I can admit that. I don't have buddy. I have friends, but I don't have buddy. I don't have people I see every single day and connect with. But I'm on the horizontal, and when it says 3 viewers, that's 3 viewers. It's not gonna be like 8 viewers. It's gonna be 3 viewers. The vertical stream multiplies. This only adds. It's an adding machine. But anyway, you have to annihilate your enemy. You have to make them beg and cry and grovel and ask them to please stop the killing. Please stop killing. That's what the whole point of war is. If war comes to you, you are the receiver of it. You're not the aggressor. The Palestinians were the aggressor, because Hamas is not just a fringe terroristic wing. They're part of a political faction within the entire framework. Now I have to say, Rick James, Mr. Rick James, ladies and gentlemen, he's here for another 15-minute show for the TikTok pea-brain generation that has the attention span of a goldfish. Fact, he's the great and not late Skylar Saunders Singh. He didn't finish it, but he's gonna say what's current. This is something new. This is a new thing. I'm just testing out. It's a good test. It's a good test. What can I say? I'm just testing it out, seeing how it goes. Because I got a message from, I can't remember his name. That's how much I don't care. Can you see my comment above, Rick? Oh, he's on the Rick. What I can't understand is the fact that so many people are saying you're doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Well, I'm doing something different and I'm expecting different results. Well, doing something over and over and expecting different result. That's insanity. Doing something over and over and over, expecting the different results is just trying something new. It's just experimenting. So that's what I'm doing. So anyway, we have to crush our enemies. We have to crush their not only their capacity to make war, but their spirit and their soul of battle. The soul of battle is what is at stake and has been for millennia, for thousands of years since man first started war, which is tens of thousands of years ago. So with you have to make your enemy capitulate. You have to make them grind to their knees, beg in the dirt for them to go away, to continue to cease and to not go on any further. That's what has to happen. Wizard says, I said my only friends are them deceased from Freemasons in my pocket. That's what I say too. I say when everybody says my friend, I say, well, I got Georgie, I got Abe, I got Alex, I got Andy, I got Ulysses, and I got Ben. So those are my friends. Those are the friends I got. But yeah, this is fun. I like it. It's an experiment, and I'm doing it, for what I can. Rick James, don't you have friends, or are your friends dead? You're 75 years old. What's going on with you, Rick James? Yup, Freemasons. Are they all? I don't know if everybody was. At least one of them was a Freemason, I think. I don't know who all the Freemasons were, and they weren't all slaveholders too. And they didn't all keep their slaves. Some of them freed their slaves after a time period, like Benjamin Franklin. He freed his slaves. That's just an example. And he wasn't a president, but he was definitely a statesman. Now, our presidents and our statesmen would be rolling in their graves, as the cliche goes, if they found out about how we govern our positions now, our wars. One of the greatest warriors of all time, my hero, maybe my most acclaimed American hero, is William Tecumseh Sherman. He was the Union's general. He was a major general during the Civil War, and he kicked the South's ass. Like his name in the South is still like murmured, like Sherman. I want to talk about him. Like he whooped their ass, and like he handed their ass to them, and like he made it like a troll. They captured Savannah in late December, and he made it a Christmas gift to President Lincoln. He gave the whole city as a Christmas gift. And no, Andretti, I will not change my outfit soon. It's all wrenches in the house, by the way. I love this. I might go for an hour. F it. Forget it. I might go for an hour because I'm getting fired up. Talk about William Tecumseh Sherman. I could talk about him all day long. I wrote a screenplay about him. I'm about to sell it. I'm serious. Like he just like once you read his story, once you read the reality of the scorched earth and his march to the sea, you will see like, damn, why aren't we like that now? What happened? Where did we go wrong? All right, let me see. Some had that they were a part of the Brotherhood. Yeah, I think so too. Great show so far. Thank you, Rick James. When you get 1,000 subscribers, white and gold. That's not. See, I might do that. But it'll have to change. I have to change up my hat. So, unless it's a black and white and gold hat. But I like the black look. I like the black, gold, and yeah, I'm gonna keep the black and gold for now. And even if I get 1,000 subscribers, I'm gonna still hold on to the black and gold because it's very penetrating. Pause. But no, if you look at William Tecumseh Sherman, the way he covered war, the way he looked at war, he said war. He was one of the few people to say war is hell. It is terrible. It's horrifying. It's horrible. It is just disgusting. You want to get it over. You want to be as swift and as powerful and as meaningful as possible. You want to have meaning in your firing, in your everything. You want to shoot true. You want to have, you have to, if you have to, burn the place to the ground like he did. He burned certain places, his enemies' sites, the civilian locations. He burnt Atlanta to the ground. ATL stood for ashes, tinder, and litter. That's what ATL stood for, and for William Tecumseh Sherman, General Sherman, because he burned it to the ground. He said, we're going to take the railroads, we're going to heat them up, we're going to twist them into across to trees, not even like bend them over. No. We're going to twist them around trees. And then his soldiers called him Uncle Buck Billy, and they called the railroad ties around the trees Sherman neckties, because they resembled neckties around the trees. So that's the kind of mentality that you have to have with war. Like we got real soft in the last 200, 150 plus years. We got really soft. And look what happened in aftermath. World War One. Why were we in World War One? There was no reason for America to be in World War One. You can't get me with it. Well, what did Woodrow Wilson say? For democracy. Oh yeah, for democracy, we have to lose hundreds of thousands of American boys going over to fight. Then you go World War II. We can say, oh, okay, cool. That was like the quote unquote good war. There's no good war really, and there's no bad peace. I think Benjamin Franklin said that too. But we say that there's a sense that people are in war, for the wrong reasons, like we were for World War One. World War Two, it was like a better war, quote unquote, because they attacked us, and we were like, okay, we're snagged into Japan, obviously, but also the Nazis, y'all are looking kind of crazy out here, so we got to come at y'all too. We got to come at y'all neck. So we're going to destroy your whole thing. There's going to be VJ Day, and there's going to be what was there? Was it VE Day first? Yeah, it was VE Day. Then it was VJ Day, Victory in Europe and Victory in Japan Day. So America, rose up out of World War II as the reigning champion of the world. The superpower, the great superpower. The only place that wasn't really devastated in its major cities, just Hawaii. That's about it. And that wasn't even a state yet. But so you had military outposts, all around the world from that time, and then further on, just 5 years later, America's in another war that nobody ever talks about. It's one of the forgotten wars. World War One is technically a forgotten war. War in Korea is the next forgotten war, because nobody talks about it, because that was after the baby boomer. That's 4 years after the baby boomer started. And it's more like we had in our sights, what we could do in Korea, and what tens of thousands of soldiers died, and sailors and Marines died because of what? And then there was no even real winner. There was a stalemate. And then we have to go to Vietnam. Vietnam is probably one of our most famous wars, because we lost it, and it's completely a complete mess. Just consider Vietnam. I mean, Vietnam was such a show, a horrific, worst war than most wars, because we didn't fight the way we should have fought if we had to get into it. I mean, we should have never been in Vietnam. We should have never been in Korea. But we were. So once you're in it, you have to fight your way through it. That's all I'm saying. Then, we lose, what was it, 80,000 people in Vietnam? 80,000 men, women, some of them maybe. And then we go on to the Gulf War. The Gulf War is a common forgotten war, because it was like, oh, really? Is this a war? What? We won. We were like, we didn't have to do anything. But we kind of lost because Saddam Hussein was still alive. Saddam Hussein was still in power at the time. So then you go off to September 11th, 2001. Who attacks us? Saudis mostly. Mostly people from Saudi Arabia. Mostly some people from Egypt. Other parts of the Middle East. Because of Islamic totalitarianism, which is basically saying a long, lot of syllables to say, bad people emanating from those regions in the Middle East that want us. And it's a weird thing to say Islamophobia, because there is a xerophobia. There is a phobia. Every time I get on a plane, I think about September 11th, 2001. Every time I go to New York City, I go to DC, I think about September 11th, 2001. I can't help it. Is that a phobia? Is that I'm not afraid. I'm a Marine. I'm ready to get down for the get down. But is that a phobia that the first thing that comes to my mind is that's the psychology that they inflicted on us? Oh boy, here we go. Let me try to answer some of these people's stuff. Let me see. I don't know about this topic. Why aren't you covering Irv or Ye? I'm not covering Ye. I'm never covering Ye. I might cover Irv in the next video. Ninjas want the dumb not the intellectual Did Trump join the army? No, he did not. Will that outfit you need a saxophone in your mouth doing a jazz solo? Pause. You don't need to say pause for that. He preferred Buxy in his mouth, no sax. Andretti, that's your job. You still swallow, don't you? Was Vietnam or Iraq the worst war? Vietnam was the worst war, obviously. Iraq only comes in at a low, very low level. Sir, what was your favorite? I don't have a favorite war. There's no such thing as having a favorite war. What do you think we lost Vietnam? What do you think we lost Vietnam? Why do you mean? Why do you think we lost Vietnam? We lost Vietnam because we should have never been there in the first place. We lost at the beginning. Phobia and brainwashing are two different things. I don't like to use the term brainwashing. I like to use the word brain sullying. I think who came up with brainwashing? Was it George Orwell? I think George Orwell came up with the term brainwashing. It should have been brain sullying. Honestly, I thought it would be another attack when Trump was elected first term. There wasn't. What was the cause of the war in Vietnam? The main cause of the war in Vietnam was the French. The French, fighting communism, they needed more support. So there was a few ground troops from the United States that went over. As I understand it, I could be wrong. I'm not a historian. But as I understand it, there was a few. It was just like a police action. They were just going through, and then it just spun way out of control. More troops were sent over. Hundreds of thousands, maybe a million, 2 million were sent over there to fight. Actually, hundreds of thousands fought. Maybe up to 1 million fought. At least 80,000 men died. So, Andretti asked, "Would you rejoin the Navy if you could?" I didn't join the Navy. I joined the Department of the Navy, the Marine Corps. Let's be very clear about that. I joined the United States Marine, and I earned the title United States Marine. You definitely should do some more war talk. What else are you passionate about? See, I guess I am passionate about this. I'm very passionate about it. Were you in shape back then? I was in very good shape. I was like 170 pounds. 5'11", 170 pounds. Rick James says, I was an admiral, sir. Were you really an admiral, Rick James? I can't verify that. Send me a PDF or something like that. Send me a PDF file saying that you were. But yeah, I was very much in shape. I was not this fat-faced, chunky butt guy right now that I am. I need to lose at least 20 pounds to get back in shape. Andretti says, how extreme was the training to get in the Army? I don't know. I wasn't in the Army. Now you're just trolling, but thanks for the trolls. I can't account for the Army. I have nothing to do with the Army. Rick James was the toilet cleaner. I'm not even going to repeat who said that. Because you know what can happen to you. You already know. There's all you see around you is wrenches. All you see is wrenches. Or Navy, I'm sorry. Why are you saying or Navy? I'm sorry. You meant or Marines? I'm sorry. You mean Marines, not Navy. I didn't join the Navy. I joined the Department of the Navy, the men's department, and the strong women's department too, I guess you can say. I'm sorry, I be forgetting it's different branches. Yeah, it's different branches, sir. $100 bucks. Okay. You're surrounded by wrenches. That's all I'm going to say. You're surrounded by wrenches. That's the only thing I'm going to address to you. You're surrounded by wrenches. And if Rick James is still in here, he knows what time it is. That's all I'm going to say. But anyway, so Afghanistan, it was like, okay, that makes sense. They had their strongholds in Afghanistan. So if I'm not mistaken, the Marines have the most intense training, or is it the Navy SEALs? The Navy SEALs probably have more intense recruit training. You have to be initiated in the Navy, as far as I know, and I don't think that you can be. You can't be within them. They have to pick you. You have to train in a certain way, and you have to be picked out of a certain, like that's what Top Gun is. Top Gun, you don't train to be in Top Gun. They pick you from your already from your abilities, and it's very. Rick James is still in here. Rick James is still in here, so I'll wait. Well, you know who else is in here, Rick James. You see who else is in here, and that's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, so the basic training for Marines is lax compared to the Navy SEALs, to be honest with you. To keep it 100, keep it a buck. But I don't know about the Marines MARSOC, Special Operations Command. MARSOC is probably the same as the SEALs. But you have to be selected to be a part of the MARSOC, just like you have to be selected to be part of the SEALs, as far as I understand it. Rick James blocked for me. Okay, I don't know what you're saying. Okay, but like I was saying with Afghanistan was like, okay, that makes sense. We'll go in a few weeks later, wipe them out. Didn't happen. We were there for over 20 years. Disgusting, or at least 19 years, maybe close to 20 years. 19 years and some months. What became of that? I mean, we don't even talk. We don't even have a discussion. We just say, business as usual, keep it moving, whatever. But men and women died. Their lives, not for us, not for freedom, not for the flag, not for the nation, for their own selfish lives, for their own personal being, for their own lives. That's it. That's why they died or killed. They didn't lose their lives. Their lives were taken from them. They could have been engineers, artists, technologists, journalists, filmmakers, mathematicians. We'll never know. We'll never know. And if in any of the wars, on both sides too. I mean, it's a shame that we have to even have war, but you have to have war. It's a necessary good in a sense, because it's not really evil. War isn't technically evil. It's evil if you capitulate to your enemy. It's evil if you serve your enemy's interests and not your own. That's evil. What's the best war song? I'm going to go with some Sympathy for the Devil by the Rolling Stones. I'm going to say a Rolling Stones song that was at the end of Full Metal Jacket, Painted Black. I think that's a great war song. Painted Black. That's a good Rolling Stones song too. Painted Black. Doom, 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 doom. We waited long enough. We waited long enough for what? What are you talking about, Rick James? You're talking cryptically now. Paranoble, hi. Do you have friends? I know you have friends. You have buddies. You have pals that you can send an email to, send a text to, send a Instagram post to. Say, look, this is Goofy Nigga. He's on he's on YouTube. He's a silly nigga, but he's got ideas and perspective. So if you could just, look him up, watch his show, tell other people about him, have 10 friends, and the other 10 friends tell 10 friends, and it just goes on and on and on. That's how you build up a circle. So, okay, Andretti, see, I know you're wearing some fishnet stockings and you're smoking a cigarette and you just got done with a John, but why would you even ask me that question right now? Seriously. That's not even a yes or no question. That's an obvious question that says in the negative. But I know you're just wiping the stains from your mouth. Andretti has this wrench because he brought somebody. I can't remember who it was. He brought somebody to the table, and was very helpful in gaining more followers. Or I always say followers. God damn it, subscribers. The terms are crazy. It's like subscribers, followers, friends. Jesus Christ. Do you think the media are being forced to cover Diddy to push him out? No, I do not think that. I got on Balenciagos down to the socks. Great. Well, that's wonderful. You're probably, clearing stains off your socks from one of the Johns, because he wanted to put it. He said, "Can I put it on your feet?" So, see, I can hate too. You have objective hate. I have objective hate. I appreciate it. Thank you for hating. I'm not gonna block you. I'm not gonna sit you down. Only people with a wrench can do that. I have the power to. I can take away your wrench. If you start going at other people, then I might, especially females. Then I'll take your wrench. But you can go at me all day. Come at me. I'm all right. I'm tired of hearing about Diddy. New story every day. Yeah. I know. It's usually about men being, violated or something, or a woman having a drink that tasted funny or something like that. I brought them out of you like that. You're snapping back. Sir, are you going to watch the new Paul Rubens documentary on HBO? I don't have HBO. I don't have Max. I don't have that. I brought that out of you. I like that you're snapping back. Yeah, I got you. That's what I do. I've been snapping back ever since the beginning. You may not have noticed it, but I'm snapping back. But I appreciate your hate. You have to hate. All's in this room is wrenches, and that's on them. I'm never going to sit you down. I could take away your wrench, but I'm not going to silence you or something like that. That's corny. I want you to hate. Do you cut your own hair? Technically, yes. I don't really have hair, quote unquote. I mean, it's very short hair, so I guess it is. I do cut my own hair. Yeah. I have a baldy though. I have a bald head. Sir, can we get a wellness check on Spirit Smooth Tunes? You know what? Apparently he's still active, but only for Mr. Choice Star Terrain show. He's not. He was giving me good money. Good money. I was like, okay, he's giving me dollars. But it's ever since, I don't know. He must have said, "Oh, I'm not mentioning him enough" or something like that. I don't know. It's same thing with Chelsea with the Glass. So she was here for a minute, dropped $50, $75 on my head. Now I have no idea where the hell she is. Was she in the fires? I don't know. She's in North Carolina. She was in. I don't know if she was in the floods or something like that. I don't know. I can't tell. What age did you start going bald? I didn't start going bald. I just decided to shave my head bald when I was 22. You meant whom? WHOM. And I don't even know what you're talking about now. We're talking about war. We're talking about American wars and our allies. Israel should still be at war, and it should be in a decisive way, and it should be fighting to win, to vanquish its enemy, to annihilate, to have their enemy relinquish its hold on its consciousness, because that's what it is. It's all about psychology. It's all about psychology. I don't want to get drafted. Fact. Oh God. No, you wouldn't. You really wouldn't want to get drafted. Drafting is evil. Drafting is against the mind. It's against the body. It's against everything that is rational, because practically it's not good for the military, because it needs to have people that want to fight, that have the will to fight. But if you start drafting people that aren't willing to fight and don't want to fight, you're going to have a great military. Now, morally, it's even more serious. It's even deeper. It's your life and limbs, and your sanity, and your mind, and your thoughts, and your psychology, and your whole body. That's what it is at stake when you have a draft. And there still is selective services for men, 18 years or older. And the penalty for not signing up for selective service is lost benefits from the government, and various ways that you could be, I think, fined or jailed in some circumstances. I looked it up a few weeks ago, but I can't remember exactly what it was. I think you chase the women away by telling them to donate. You got to let them decide if you want to or not. How am I chasing women away when 24% of my makeup of my audience is women? Am I chasing them away? Is that chasing them away? 24%? I can go through the analytics with you. 24% of the people. That's not a lot. I know it's a majority is male. 75%. I know is male, but 25% is still a good chunk. Sir, what do you think of Smashing Pumpkins? Smashing Pumpkins is one of the greatest rock bands. I love their coolness. I love they remind me of Radiohead. Radiohead is maybe my favorite or one of my favorite rock bands next to Green Day and the White Stripes and Sode or System of a Down. They okay, yeah. But no, Smashing Pumpkins is the truth. I've only listened to a few of their songs. Tool is another great band. Yeah, but rock is dead, so I don't. Let's not even talk about rock and roll. Rock is dead. I don't even know where you came at. Where'd you get that? Smashing Pumpkins. Where'd you pull that out of? We're talking about Israel and the fight and how they should demonstrably take down their enemy without regard. I mean, completely just demolish everything, civilian and military targets. But the best part about it is there were very few military, very few, rape and pillage kind of stories or anything that came out of Sherman's March to the Sea. Rock is Billie Eilish and Taylor Swift. That's about right. That's pretty true. The singer of Pumpkins is Israeli, I think. Is he really? I didn't know that. I never seen China Army. Well, there is a Chinese army. I think it has like 3 million, if I'm not mistaken. I think it has 3 million different combatants that comprise the Chinese army. So I'm not sure, but that's what it has to deal with. That's the reality of it. Yeah, so I'm hyped and charged off this topic because it just pissed me off. I'm listening to these news reports, and President Trump is saying literally that he wants to turn this section of the Middle East into a casino and a high rise and skyscrapers. Maybe we could do that, but not right now. Right now, a war needs to be fought, and it needs to be won by Israel. That's what my argument is. There should be no talk about a Riviera, for the Middle East, Southeast Asia, not Southeast Asia, Southwest Asia, really, Southwest Asia. Why Dubai be so quiet? That's because I don't think Dubai is very quiet. Dubai is pretty loud. It's very loud. It's one of the worst cities to be in. Try spitting on the ground. Try, dropping a piece of paper on the ground. Try using foul language around a police officer or something like that. Marcus Jordan can cuss at a police officer. Try cussing at a police officer in Dubai. Just try. See what happens to you. See if you're not flogged. See if you're not horsewhipped. See what happens to you. So I think Dubai is pretty loud. It's not so quiet. I don't know what you mean by quiet. Dubai is pretty loud. It stole its ideas and its architects and inventors and engineers from Europe and America. Marcus Jordan is royalty. Oh my God. Sir, would you ever live in Kuwait? Not if I can help it. Not if I can help it. I mean, I don't know what the situation would be if it made sense. If Kuwait turned into a capitalist utopia, I'll be right there. I'm not an American loyalist. I'm an American citizen because it is by far the noblest nation ever devised. It's got a hell of a lot of problems and issues. It's a basket case in a lot of ways, but it's not the basket case. It's actually a great nation. It's a wonderful nation, but I'm not beholden to it. I'm not beholden to it as a nationalist or somebody like that. Would you move to Africa? Have to be, again, If Africa, first of all, I don't know what part of Africa, what country in Africa. Africa is an entire continent. You have to name a country. Sir, what is your opinion on the lady boys of Thailand? If they're gonna be lady boys, they're gonna be lady boys. That's what the passport bros are doing. You know, they're going over to Thailand and different parts of Asia and stuff like that, and they're getting with these lady boys of age, 18 years of older, and they're being real discreet and quiet until something comes up. They're doing their thing with these women boys, these lady boys, and that's the passport bros ethos. I think that's their whole modus operandi, what they want to do with their lives. Don't tread on me, meaning. Don't tread on me, meaning. You're asking me what do I think of the don't tread on me meaning, or what you can look up on your own by going to Google? What are you saying, Andretti? What do you mean? Please clarify, sir. Do you know who your subscriber is, by the way? I think you can guess who your subscriber is. Short. What is short king? So you had to add short king. What is short king? I don't even know what that means. I had to look. I'll look that up. What the hell is short king? Actually, I'm not the shortest, but I'm not the tallest, but I'm above average. I'm above average. I'm 5'11". 5'11". So I'm not a short king. I'm just tall enough. But like I said, you don't have to be tall. I just happen to be 5'11". But anyway, okay. So what does it mean to me? Don't tread on me means to me, don't push me around. Don't tell me what to do. Allow me to live my life as an adult. Allow me to do what I wish to do as long as I'm not hurting anyone else. That's what don't tread on me stands to me. That's what it means. Don't tread on me. Back up, government. Protect my rights. Protect what I want to do in life. And be vigilant over my life. But don't run my life. Be a protector, not a nanny. So I hope that was sufficient enough. It means do change on America. She always comes first. I don't even know what that means. You have to reiterate. You have some terrible, syntax. Oh, don't. It means don't change on America. She always comes first. It means don't change on America. You mean tread on America or go against America? Andretti is on the dust. That's a lot coming from Rick James. That's a lot. That's a lot coming from Rick James, who has some really off the wall stuff to say. But he's been on his deem so far. Yeah, that's what's redacted, I guess. Okay, redacted. What Rick say? Rick said you were on the dust. Look right above you. So yeah, so that's just blowing my mind. He blocked you. Where did he block you? He didn't block you. You retracted your statement, your message. He didn't block you. It would say blocked by, Andretti blocked by Rick James or something like that. But this war in Gaza, this has got to, continue until there is a decisive victory. Decisive, like how we brought Japan to its knees. They had, and the weird thing about the Japan thing was it took 2 days before the Emperor of Japan signed the peace treaty, the peace documents to stop fighting. Took them 2 days after the bombings, both bombings, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, which were not military targets. That's what we don't talk about that a lot. Vietnam, everybody thinks, oh, baby killers, they spit on the uniform, you're a baby killer. What war in all of history was there not a baby kill? That's what I want to know. Remember the movie IP Man? No, I do not. Rick on the bussy, he admitted it. He's a switch hitter. I think that's true. I think Rick James did say that he did some special things back in the day, and even to this day. I think that actually is true. But I'm not judging him for it. That's just his way to be. That's not my life. I don't have anything to do with that. Rick James is painting his nails. Oh my God. Yeah, so this whole Trump, this whole thing, it's like once he goes off a script, when he goes off a script, that's when you know you're in for popcorn and stuff like that. But it's a sad popcorn. It's like it's a tragedy, it's gonna be a tragedy. It's sad because what he has to say is awful. He says the worst things possible. Okay, y'all are talking to each other now. It's just the two of y'all. Andretti and Rick James going back and forth now. Pause. So Israel has got to win. And I don't understand the ceasefire because what is a ceasefire? What wall? They have a wall. Oh, Israel has a wall. Israel has the Dome of the Rock. Is it Dome of the Rock? I can't remember, but that actually is more sufficient than the wall. The wall did not do a goddamn thing. They broke through on one of the weakest parts of Israel and slaughtered over 1,000 people. Slaughtered them at a concert and then took hostages. It's disturbing. It's really sad and disgusting how we have to even take this into account. How we don't really fight for the idea of Israel being a sovereign state and its ability to fight its own war and to have its own place on the world stage. That's the sadness. That's what I mean by taking the time and making sure that all of these different things actually happen. And they won't. They won't. Netanyahu's one of the worst leaders of all time. He's a terrible paper tiger / he's not even a paper tiger. He's like a paper, house cat. He's not even a paper tiger. He's hardly even that. That's too much. That's giving him too much credit. Netanyahu's one of the worst leaders ever to govern Israel or any leader in the world history. He's terrible. Sir, what do you think of Lena the Plug? I don't think I've heard of Lena the Plug. That's a rapper, right? Let me see. Lena the Plug. Oh, that's Adam 23's. Adam 22's wife. I don't really have anything to say about her. I haven't really looked at her that much. She looks fairly attractive, but I don't have anything much to do with her. So what do you think about Lena the Plug, Rick James? What do you think? Is she? I didn't know that. I don't know. I didn't know that. You know what? I think I remember. Didn't she say she wanted to have some? They wanted to have some kind of three-way or something like that, a threesome or something like that, something crazy. He was going to film it, or they're going to get involved. Something crazy happened. I'm trying to remember what that was, but I don't really care about her like that. She's not really that interesting. She's not a porno star. She's a adult film actress. There's no such thing as a porno star. The last porn star was Jenna Jameson. That was the last porn star. That was the last one to make actual millions off of her. As far as I know, there could be maybe a crop of maybe actresses or actors that I don't know about. But I know for a fact that Jenna Jameson, she was on Oprah's show, for God's sakes. There is no God, but goddamn. She was on Oprah. Okay, that's how her level of fame got to. Jenna Jameson. Sir. What's up with the sir? Sir what? Sir Mix-a-Lot? I like big butts and I cannot. Yeah, this was a topic. This was a topic because I'm just flabbergasted. Why even talk about this? You should be talking about destruction. They did have one. Okay, who was the one? And who is they? Who is they and who is the one? Okay, they the threesome. Okay, whatever. That's their business. She's not a porn star. Jenna Jameson was the last porn star. That was almost 20 years ago or more. She's an adult film actress or a pornographic actress. I thought the last porn star was Carmen Electra. Well, I don't think so. It was Jenna Jameson was a little bit after her. Jenna Jameson was like the late 90s, early 2000s. That was a totally different era for the internet too. I don't think Jenna Jameson, not Jenna Jameson. Carmen Electra was a porn actress. Let me see. It's this from Wikipedia. Pornographic video site Pornhub reported that her name was searched on the site more than 1.7 million times, much more opposed to the 150,000 average searches her name received previously. She has an OnlyFans account saying, I for once have this opportunity to be my own boss and have my own creative vision to share with my friends without someone standing over me. I can respect that. That's interesting. I thought she did her fair share. No, she did not. I thought the last one. No, she did not do her fair share. She's an actress. She's just a C plus actress, I guess, or maybe even a D list actress. I don't know. But let's focus on Israel. Let's focus on the fact that Israel needs to be a sovereign nation and defend itself and completely make their enemies grovel and capitulate. I mean, bring them to their knees, say, we shouldn't have done what we did. We'll never do it again. Like I said, what Japanese people do you know are still rolling around with their fists clenched and saying, God damn those Americans, I can't believe what they did with Tokyo and Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Oh, I want to exact revenge against them. None. There are none. There are no Japanese that would even consider that because they know they were wrong. They know they were evil. They know they were vicious. And they had to come to terms with it. America built the bomb and dropped 2 of them. Killed over 100,000 people. And people, I mean, little babies, aunties, uncles, grandmas, granddads, cousins, nieces, nephews, people. Like, wasn't just military targets. Wasn't just, ammunition depots and things like that. These were actual targets. Actual targets. We tend to forget that. There's not one Japanese with a clenched fist, saying, "Oh, God damn it! If only we could just go over there in America and exact our revenge and get back at them." No, they were decisively defeated, and they knew it. They knew it. They knew they were wrong. They knew they were evil. They knew they were vicious, and that's how you get paid. That's the payback. America had the payback. Oh, you want to take over 1,000 lives at our base in Hawaii, which I think was a territory at that time. I guess it was a territory. It was kind of like Puerto Rico in a sense, I guess. Hawaii, Pearl Harbor. Oh, you want to do that? Sure. Okay, great. Well, we're going to have ground troops, and we're going to go to the seas. We're going to be in the Pacific. We're going to fight. And then we're going to get to a point where, like, okay, we have enough intelligence, we have enough thought put into these weapons. It's ironic. It's a weird thing because you have to have a lot of intelligence and a lot of thought and a lot of preparation that goes into making these weapons of war. Oppenheimer, goddammit. Oppenheimer had the whole idea all to himself, but he had a whole whole list of people that aided him on his journey. I'm become death. I am become death. That's what it's about. In order to preserve life, you have to commit deaths. It's a paradox, but it's true. You have to commit a greater act that counterbalances or goes against the atrocity that was first inflicted upon you. That's a fact. That's a reality. That's what William Tecumseh Sherman understood. That's what Patton understood. Patton was called Old Blood and Guts. He was a bit of a nut in a way. So the same thing with William Tecumseh Sherman, but within the context of war, they were, clear-headed, keen, clean, very sane. Maybe outside they might have been a little goofy, like Patton with his pistol and his poems and stuff like that. But he had an ivory grip pistol. I'm trying to think. Hold on. He had a ivory handled revolver. Only a pimp from a cheap New Orleans whorehouse carries pearl handled revolvers. These are ivory. He said that to I think a reporter or something like that. So in conclusion, I'd like to thank everybody that came through. Let me get my sponsors in. Of course, there is Mr. Peng. He has lifestrongapparel.com. Go there, get the goods, get the doggy treats, get the purple sea moss, the sea moss gel, the snapback. When you get those items, go to the checkout, put in promo SKYLER20 or Scholar20, and you'll get 20% off all your items. That's a great knockoff for all your merchandise. So definitely patronize that site, lifestrongapparel.com. Also, BEEJACKSON 5478 on YouTube. B Jackson, Beha Jackson, the former childhood actor who appeared in the monumental Boys in the Hood film. He now has his own YouTube channel where he's talking about sardines on the grill, fried chicken, and near beer, as well as of age, adult female strippers. So if you like any or all those things, check him out on YouTube. Also on YouTube is Dot Focus, DOTFOCUS_. Dot Focus has a great way of showing himself on COD or Call of Duty. He has the pink mist in his sights. He has a great job. You have to watch him go through his gameplay, the walkthrough, I think they call it. So enjoy that, and make sure you get those subscriptions up. Make sure you get those subscribers up. And that's all. So I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I appreciate everybody that came through. And I will see you maybe later today or tomorrow. Thank you very much. Take care.